Hey guys, Oblivion here, coming at you with my long-awaited Volcanic deck profile. A lot of you guys have been questioning me when I'm going to do this. I've been wanting to basically make the build as best as I can. I am a budget player, so I try my best to try to make it as budget as possible and make it competitive. And just to kind of show it off, and you guys have seen the duel videos, you guys do know the premise of the deck. Basically, it's to have board control with the Volcanics and with the Paleozoics, and then going for some rank 2 XYZs, and again, just like go for some burn damage. What I really do like about this version of the Paleozoic deck is that you can make it into like either a burn deck running magic cylinders, blazing mirror forces, or you can make it into a control deck. Now, I've always been a control player myself instead of actually going for a burn type. And like always, if you guys don't want to stick for the deck profile, I'll always have an image of the video of the deck list in the description below. So please like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right to the deck profile, you guys. Alright. So I apologize for the shitty quality. I'm doing this on my laptop, right? So to get started with the monsters, we're running 3 volcanic rockets. If you guys don't know what it does, basically when it's summoned, you get to search a Blaze Accelerator Reload from your deck, which is literally the card of the deck because it controls the field and it gives you draw power, and it's a discard fodder for Dinomischus and for basically your draw engine. Now, I'm proxying the 1, but I'm running 3 Volcanic Shell. Basically, play 500 when it's in the graveyard to add a Volcanic Shell from your deck to your hand. What this allows you to do is, again, basically fodder for discard cards like Dinomischus, or draw fodder for Blaze Accelerator Reload, so you can draw a card, and it's kind of like your draw engine. Now, for the main controller of the board, you're running 3 Scatter Shots. Scatter Shots, basically, when it gets sent to the graveyard via the effect of Blaze Accelerator Reload, so you can use Blaze Accelerator Reload's effect in the grave or just activate it. It gets to Raigeki your opponent's board and deal 1500 points of damage. So it's pretty good, and we have ways of recycling this, so it's not like a one-hit wonder sort of thing. So the things that we use to recycle those cards are two Royal Firestorm Guards. Basically, what this card does is when it's normal summoned, you can target 4 Pyro-type monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them back into your deck, and draw 2 cards. So what you usually want to do is, once you already use your Scatter Shot, you send all 3 of them to the graveyard, and let's say you have a 1 Volcanic Shell in the graveyard, you can just target these 4 cards right here, and then shuffle them all into your deck, and draw 2 cards. So then you can have another shot of either Raigeking your opponent's board with Blaze Accelerator Reload and Scatter Shot, or you can just keep on searching via shell and like drawing and have discard fodder, like endless amount of discard fodder. Okay, so that's basically the monster count. It's 11. So for the spells, I am only running 3 Pots of Duality. Now, I know that this isn't the best card because you do special summon via Paleozoics, but in this particular build, you got to be smart when to use it. Like I said, you're not always going to be wanting to special summon, and if you know you're going to special summon to control the board via XYZs or via Paleozoics, you're not going to want to activate Pot of Duality, so you really want to be smart about this. Like I said, I'm a budget player, so I don't have Pot of Desires, but still, Duality does its job, and that's basically to get me to my Blaze Accelerator Reloads, to my much needed Paleozoics, or to my Volcanic Rocket, which allows me to add my Scatter Shot. I mean my Blaze Accelerator Reload. So speaking about Blaze Accelerator Reload, we're running 3 of it. This is basically the main trap of the deck. The reason why I wanted to mix Volcanics and Paleozoics together are because they're such a good match, because they're both heavily consistent on traps. Basically what this allows you to do is you can activate it during your main phase or during your opponent's main phase. You can send one Volcanic monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 1 card. So you can either send your Scatter Shot to Raigeki their board and you get to draw a card, or you can send a Shell during your opponent's turn and then use Shell's effect during your turn and then discard the Shell again and draw another card. So it's basically your draw engine, and also has a really one of the main effects that it has is that when it's in the graveyard, you can send 1 Volcanic monster from your deck to the graveyard. So that allows you to basically activate Scatter Shot's effect because you are resolving it via Blaze Accelerator Reload, or if you just need a draw engine, which I usually tend to do a lot, I can just send a Volcanic Shell if I already have a Blaze Accelerator in my Speller Trap Zone, or like I can activate it. So I can just kind of deck thin out my deck. So 3 of it, because you kind of have to run 3. For the Paleozoics now, we're running 3 Morella. Morella is a foolish burial for traps. This is especially good in this deck. I'm running 3 of it, not only because it can dump Paleozoics to kind of load your graveyard up to use them, but it could also dump Blaze Accelerator Reload. So let's say you dead draw or something, right? Or you draw like a shell or a scatter shot, and you don't have a way to activate the effect via Blaze Accelerator Reload or something. What tends to usually happen to me, I draw a Blaze Accelerator Reload without any Volcanics. So what I do is I set Morella, I activate Morella, I send another Blaze Accelerator Reload from my deck to the graveyard, and then activate Blaze Accelerator Reload in the graveyard to add to send my Volcanic Shell, or if I need to control the board, I just send Scatter Shot to Raigeki the board. And that's kind of how you control the board. For the rest of the Paleozoics, I feel like are pretty standard. 3 Dynamiscus. You always have endless fodder for Dynamiscus, so you should never be like using cards that you need, like another Paleozoic or anything like that, because you have a lot of discard fodder. 3 Olenites, the MST. 3 Canadia, Book of Moon, and 2 Paideia for the draw power. I'm only running 2 of Paideia because, like I said, 3 is a little cloggy. It's like 3 Destiny draw, unfortunately. And you don't really want to discard your Paleozoics because their effects are really good, like Dynamiscus and the MST and even Canadia. Those are really good. So that's it for basically the Paleozoic lineup. For the rest of the traps, I feel are pretty standard. So 3 Reckless Greeds for the draw power. We are running we are running basically a Paleozoic version of the deck. 3 Battle Stoppers. I chose 2 Threatening Roars and 1 Wabaku. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. I couldn't find the rest of the Wabaku, so I just found 1. So I just decided to run 2 Threatening Roars and the Wabaku. And for the effect negations, I am running 2 Breakthrough Skill, and for the last trap, I am running 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. So like I said, you guys, honestly, what I like about Volcanic Paleozoics is that you deal so much burn damage off of like the Raigekis and everything. You can honestly, like, if you guys not feeling this, you guys can just change this out for like a Magic Cylinder or a Blazing Mirror Force. I honestly wanted to try that version of the deck, like more of a burn oriented. Because that way you can play mind games with your opponent and you can control the board at the same time. Unfortunately, my extra deck isn't complete, and I barely ever go into my extra deck if it's not into a Paleozoic XYZ. So if you guys have like Totally Awesome or something like that, throw that in there, because that'll just make this deck incredibly more powerful than it already is. I'm just going to wait for the reprint or something, or if I can trade it off. But honestly, I'm not going to bust $25, $30 for a card. 3, what is this? Oblyvion. Basically the searcher for the rest of the Paleozoics if I need to, and you're allowed to activate them in the hand. So really good with Dynamiscus, really good for the MST or even Canadia. 2, the Popper. This requires 3 Paleozoics, but you get to pop during either player's turn, which is great. And honestly, these are the only ones that really matter, and these are the only ones I really ever go into. And the rest can just be fillers. So if you're running like Ghost Ogre and Cherries or something like that, you can just run like a Buster Dragon to kind of stun them even more. And then the 196 Dark Mist, and then standard like rank 2s, honestly. And I'm running like a couple rank 4s, Cowboy and Abyss Dweller, just because I had extra and I don't want to take them out of my Ascenders. But that's basically it, guys. That's the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I know that I kind of put this deck off a little bit. It's just because I wanted to give you guys the best possible deck for the best possible price. If you guys are interested in the deck price, I honestly got all this for probably maybe $13. And if you guys are still not convinced of how the deck works, please look at the other videos. I do have 2 videos demonstrating on how Paleozoic Volcanics work, and I'm intended on uploading even more, and probably more of a burn variant if you're into that sort of thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, rate, comment, and subscribe. This has been Oblivion. I'll catch you guys later.